I was going to start with a positive quarterback story, but let's start with the negative stories first because we have about 3 QB changes that have been announced coming up this Sunday. The Panthers announced that Sam Darnold will be the starter at quarterback on Sunday. And then just today, the report from NFL reporter Mike Garafolo reported that Kyle Allen will be the starter for the Texans on Sunday. And then the big one happened today. The New York Jets have benched Zach Wilson and will start Mike White. Now, let me give you the quote here of Robert Saleh, the reaction from Zach Wilson. It says, he said, "Why now? Why me? I want to play." So he sounds upset about it. Doesn't say it's over for Saleh. Saleh didn't say it's over for him, but he's benching him now.
Look, he stinks. That's all there is to it. I've said this to you from day one. I didn't understand why he was taking number 2. He plays a brand of football that's just not going to work in the pros unless you're Patrick Mahomes. And when you look at him, David, he's about a 55% passer, turnover machine. And that performance Sunday were 2 total yards in the second half of a football game. And then they ask you, do you feel like you let the defense down? And you say no. It was destined to go here. Now, I'm not telling you Mike White's going to be some revelation, but people in New York wanted Mike White. He had flashes last year. I've said it from Jump Street. I think they're moving away from Zach Wilson at the end of this year. What are you going to do? You can't dump a season that you can make the playoffs in just because you drafted that kid number 2. If Mike White wins a couple of games and they make the playoffs, how do you go back to him next year?
And I did see an NFL reporter, there was a fan that sent a question on Twitter to him, and the reporter basically said he's thinking about the other guys in the locker room. He can't think about just Wilson being upset that you're going to bench him. By the way, Mike White, this will be his 4th start. He's 1-2 as a starter, 67% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So it's nothing great, but whatever.
Also, Zach Wilson, a career 6.2 yards per attempt. Woof. Awful.
Your thoughts on do you have any thoughts on the other quarterback situation? I think the Panthers they're just trying to find.
I just hope both teams have fun. I don't care. Next.
Well, speaking of fun, something we will not be able to have until the summer of 2024, and I blame you, Mike.
I know.
The return of EA Sports College Football has been delayed until the summer of 2024. The EA Sports Vice President and General Manager said that because we're bringing it from scratch, they wanted to make sure everything was right. Disappointing?
Listen, it's just a sad day. I mean, flags are at half-mast. I just, I'll never figure it out. I really don't. I mean, you come out with 1 game a year.
Right.
You've had 10 to figure it out. I mean, who are we kidding?
Oh, they said they want to make everything right. They're having Brutus the Buckeye, and they want to make everything detailed. I don't.
It is a sad day. That's all I'll tell you.
Just come out with the game.
It is a sad day.
Let's talk about this for a second. As a quick college mention here, the rumors of Lane Kiffin going to Auburn. Now he's been on social media saying that I'm not going. He's met with the team. Him and the AD met with the team last night and saying he's not going. What happens there in Auburn? Do you actually think he leaves? And if he doesn't, who do they bring in?
David, I don't understand why he would go. Obviously, money's money, but he's finally found a home at Ole Miss, a place that fits. It's a little bit off the radar. You fly to Memphis, you drive an hour and a half south to Oxford. I don't get why you'd go because it's right back to a place like Tennessee and USC where Lane imploded. I don't know what to make of it. Now, he's gone out and denied it, but that doesn't mean anything in today's world. The Egg Bowl is Thanksgiving night. I will be fascinated to see it and the 12 hours past it because, David, you're going to know real quick.
Very quickly.
Very.
Woo! Let's move over to that positive QB story. The 49ers destroyed the Cardinals 38-10 on Monday. And then a quote here from Kyle Shanahan. He says, Jimmy's doing a great job. Jimmy has always done a great job when Jimmy's been healthy out there. We've had our guys around him. He plays at a high level, and I think he did that today as good as he has. We're very fortunate to have him.
They know.
Now, is this not basically saying I love my quarterback, but saying I'm glad we stuck with him because...
No, I think they know they're lucky that they didn't trade him. They're lucky that he was there. He's the only thing saving their season. Otherwise, if Trey Lance went down and you're starting, Pete Beathard, you're dead. I still believe as long as they go on to have the season we all think they can have, Trey Lance is done there, right?
I think he's done there. I think he has no future there. Speaking of future, I want to have this conversation with you real quick. A couple things that I think will come from the NFLPA. One case that they've already filed and one that they may file in the future. The future one is the field conditions. They continue, and Dave Burkett wrote another article on it when it comes to Tracy Walker's injury and the playing surface that they use versus artificial versus grass. Do you think that the NFLPA will not say force the hand of the owners, but try to put more pressure on the owners to switch fields to grass?
Yeah, but the problem's going to be, what is the functionality of grass in a lot of these stadiums? Now, I know in Arizona, what do? They grow it outside and roll it in or whatever it is?
Correct.
David, I'm fine with it. Some of these stadiums, you would have to explain to me how grass could exist.
Yeah, I don't see how Ford Field, how they can get grass.
Well, we
there.
could do what I've asked them to do for 20 years. Rip the roof off, piece by piece. We should be playing outdoor football in the city of Detroit. Period. It should not be an indoor venue. I don't understand how the Lions ever ended up playing indoors. Like, why? Silverdome, why? Ford Field, why? Look at it outside. We should be playing football right now.
I have a theory. They don't really, whatever.
Keep it moving.
Let me give you this. The actual case that they filed against the owners, they filed a collusion claim against the NFL regarding guaranteed player contracts, believing that in August at the owners' meeting that the owners agreed there never to give guaranteed contracts after Deshaun Watson. My question to you is, will fully guaranteed contracts become a thing in the NFL?
No, it's why Lamar doesn't have a deal right now. And Steve Bisciotti may have opened Pandora's box by saying we weren't pleased with what the Browns did.
I think that's why they're claiming collusion.
So, no, I don't think it'll be a thing. And I don't think it should be. A great example is Aaron Judge in baseball. Why the hell would I guarantee him 10 years and $400 million to the age of 41? The answer is I'm not. I hope he goes to the Giants. I hope he doesn't play for the Yankees again. There shouldn't be guaranteed deals. Now, if you want to do half the deals guaranteed, you want to have option clauses, I'm fine with all of it. But in a game that's legislated on violence, the idea that I'm going to guarantee anything 5, 6, 7 years into the future, it's bad business.
And then before we close it out and head to the look ahead of the Thanksgiving games, who gets your game ball from this past weekend in the NFL? If there's one.
It sure as hell isn't Kenny Pickett. And you know the reason why, but we'll leave it alone. Just give it up to the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Pollard. How about that? They got to stop with their fascination with Zeke, man. Tony Pollard's electric. He's fabulous.
Well, they need to get Jerry Jones away from Zeke Elliott.
Everybody wants an active owner until, you have an active owner. But I'd be the Dallas Cowboys. It's one of the greatest performances you'll ever see.
That was amazing.
That was the Vikings' worst loss at home, I think, in 50 years.
I think it was. And that is in football today.